Imagine that scientists have just found 7 strange stars in the vastness of space. These stars might be hiding as secret alien megastructures built by alien cultures. What if the heat radiation these stars give off isn't just a normal event, but rather a sign that huge Dyson spheres are using the power of whole stars? Could this be the proof we've been looking for, that we're not alone in the universe, or is it something completely out of the blue? At least this study could not be more impressive. A group of researchers has found 7 strange stars in the vastness of space that they think are huge structures from other planets. In more detail, the celestial bodies are interesting because they give off an unexplainable heat radiation. It's possible that a society far away is collecting its starlight with huge Dyson spheres. This is an amazing idea that, if it turns out to be true, we will finally have proof that our alien friends exist. And we will also know that they are much smarter than us when it comes to technology. There are still a lot of questions that haven't been answered, and another study says that we're not dealing with highly developed aliens, but with hot dogs from space, and that humanity is actually on the rise. At least that's true for the so-called Kardashev scale, which measures how far along a society is in terms of how much energy it uses. The corresponding scale was created in 1964 by an unknown astronomer named Nikolai Kardashev. It is divided into 3 levels of growth, but we haven't even hit the first one yet. You could even say that a society is only type 1 if it has figured out how to use all the power on its planet. But at least we're going in the right way. It was only 0.58 100 years ago. At this point, humans still have a long way to go before they hit type 1. However, there may already be civilizations out there that have reached and passed this point and are now making technological marvels that we can only dream of right now. But the most powerful thing that a Type 2 civilization can do is use the power of its mother star. A Type 3 civilization can even use the power of its whole galaxy. But how is that even possible? What kind of magic could an alien race use to turn their home world into a huge power plant? I mean like a Dyson sphere. Even though the solar industry is doing better than ever right now, let's not forget that Freeman Dyson was working on a much bigger version of the idea of converting light energy into electricity back in the 1960s. In a paper published in Science, the physicist said that a more advanced alien society would probably take this simple idea to a whole new level by putting photovoltaic panels around their parent star. Dyson didn't really want to make a detailed plan of this huge structure when he made the sphere that bears his name. Instead, he wanted to remind us that when looking for signs of extraterrestrial life, we shouldn't just focus on picking up radio signals. We should also be looking for the infrared radiation that would come from such a structure. The law of conservation of energy says that once a society has used the starlight it taps, it must be released back into the universe. The Dyson sphere gets hot from the starlight when it works, so it also emits heat radiation that we can feel from Earth. At least that's the idea. But even now, more than 60 years after Dyson first told the world about his idea, it hasn't gone any further than being an interesting thought. That's because we haven't found any hard evidence of infrared signals. Or have we? Who knows? Now, a group of experts from around the world has decided that the matching tracks have been found. Experts from Sweden, India, the UK, and the US have been hard at work sifting through infrared data from the Gaia DR 2 Mass and WISE telescopes to see if there was a revolutionary breakthrough hidden in the existing datasets. It turns out that most of the 5 million stars studied in this project, called HEOS, don't have any unique properties. However, there are 7 stars in the universe that behave very strangely. The results of the study have been published in the journal Monthly Notices of the Royal Astronomical Society. The authors of the study suggest that space is full of both finished and unfinished Dyson spheres, which can only partially absorb starlight. This is related to what the paper says. Such a structure would give off waste heat as mid-infrared radiation. Its effective temperature would depend on how far along the alien construction project was. But it's clear that we'll only be able to properly identify their radiation of desire if we can distinguish it from the radiation that comes from natural sources. If not, the alleged signature of the Dyson spheres could quickly revert to normal nebula dust, disks, or the galaxy they were following. The international scientists were also aware of this cosmic risk of confusion, which is why they set up a special system in advance to find things with unusually high infrared emission that have no known natural cause. The experts then had to use this broad filter to sort through the 5 million stars. They were shocked to find that only 7 had made it through. The bottom line is that the dazzlingly bright mysteries don't fit any of the normal patterns of explanation either. It's true that no disturbing signs or factors have been found in their environment that would clearly point to a mid-infrared origin, but the stars all look like clear mid-infrared radiators. Speaking of big discoveries and cosmic hot dogs, does this bizarre event mean that we have found 7 stars in the universe with artificial Dyson spheres? Well, the experts weren't so quick to draw conclusions from their results because there weren't enough confirmed finds. It's also possible that the infrared energy seen comes from natural sources that have not yet been found. At the same time, the experts say that all 7 stars are red dwarfs of the faintest type. This means that they are celestial bodies that almost never have dust or debris rings that give off this kind of infrared radiation. But even if it turns out that the Dyson spheres are just natural events, experts would still have learned something new about astronomy, because they would have had to rethink everything they thought they knew about how dust disks form around red dwarf stars. In fact, for at least 3 of the 7 stars, it looks like the idea of giant technological buildings is no longer a possibility. More specifically, the follow-up study by another group of researchers found that the infrared radiation was actually caused by hot dogs. We're not talking about an alien hot dog stand here. It's about a certain type of galaxy. The word dog refers to a dust-covered galaxy, and these unusual groups of galaxies are known for their unique quasars and, in other words, active galactic centers. The central black holes give off huge amounts of radiation, heating up the dust and gas structures around them, and emitting infrared light that is 1,000 times more intense than the radiation from the Milky Way. When the scientists looked again at the 7 Dyson ball candidates, they saw that 3 of them were very close to most of these hot dog galaxies. As mentioned above, the hot dust clouds there are very good at giving off infrared radiation. This means that the radiation previously thought to be coming from the stars is actually coming from the nearby hot dogs. In the infrared, these would look almost the same if they were placed behind the Dyson sphere star that comes with them, which is what you would expect from a device like this. But what about the other 4 stars? What if we think that the 3 stars we see in the infrared are actually distorted by hot dog galaxies? Actually, it could be the same thing because experts say that hot dogs also have an effect on the other stars, because the different wavelength flanks of light are similarly strong. But scientists haven't yet found the guilty galaxies that would reveal the background of the strange stars. So, what's left to say at the end of the day? Is it worth looking for Dyson ball signals at all? That's exactly the question. It's hard to find a real way to talk about it, because we don't even know how likely it is that these structures exist. But it's also clear that a lot of new techniques have been developed in the last few decades that could be used to find any fingerprints. The James Webb Telescope's main task is to look for possible biosignatures of simple animals in the atmospheres of planets. However, if a Dyson sphere were found, it would prove that there are life forms out there that are much more advanced than us. If you can find the subscribe button, you will never miss another video from us. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe now to stay active. We'll see you soon.